In some weeks like this, that I had to consider, maybe I should be having more streams to talk about the stuff, but don't think I have enough energy, or sometimes even throat capacity for this. Sounds a little bit strange when you say it that way. Uh, don't know what happened just now. I was opening my software to be moving and it's moving around, and it just closed on its own. So that was a little bit weird. That was a little bit strange. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. I don't know what happened. Boy, oh boy. Oh man. It's one of those days. I'm full of food. So I might be a little bit sluggish. Please understand. I'm not dying of sleep, so that's a nice positive. Let's have some music, even though we'll need to mute in a bit. We have some clips for today, after all. Let's go with this nostalgic Pokemon music for last day summer. For last day summer to study to relax. This game might be more ESL than me. Are those all silver? Is that nostalgic? God, I'm old. But I guess it fits the vibes. Okay, alright. Is everything correct here? I think it is. Yeah, that seems correct. So, let me bring up my browser as usual. Yeah, this seems correct. So, in the wake of Charlie Kirk's passing, passing. Oh boy, we mentioned this a little bit the last week, but a lot of people have something to say. A lot of people have something stupid to say, and boy, oh boy, finally, the consequences will never be the same. That was supposed to be a meme, but I guess it's finally happening? Am I sleeping? Am I dreaming? Is this real life? Well, I have no idea. Hold up. Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, there you go. I was seeing something strange on the side, but it was nothing truly strange, really. So here we have the most normal people on Earth, Redditors. So you know it's bad. Redditors are now ancient threats to all right-wing content creators. This is a quote. This is obviously not what I think. Let Kirk's death be a warning to all right-wing content creators out there, says El Paco. I think that's capital I and two lowercase l's, right? If you foment division, hate, and violence, you might just end up on the receiving end of the very people you set out to radicalize. There's something they can blame on anyone but themselves. It's so extremely ironic every single time. Are you looking in the mirror, or what's going on here? We have here with a point award? I don't know anything about Reddit. I don't want to know anything about Reddit. But thought try underscore union 2272. Yep. You paying attention, Nick Fuentes? Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Because I've seen a lot of people, and when I say people, I mean normies, agreeing with Nick Fuentes. Oh boy. Do you think that maybe you goofed a little bit? I think you might. Or are they agreeing with Nick Fuentes because even though Nick Fuentes obviously far right, he calls himself far right, actually, so it's not hyperbole. Normies find that guy to be more sensible and more adversely moderate than whatever this is. Absolutely hilarious. And this is something here from Ashton Forbes that I hadn't seen before. As this is not worthy of a side-wide ban. It's literally an open call for domestic terrorism. Just shut it down before more people die. And he's not wrong. It's quite literally a call for domestic terrorism. this is inciting violence. And you have all of these clowns saying, oh, but what about my freedom of speech? Well, first of all, you never cared about freedom of speech because you kept trampling other people's freedom of speech when they said something you didn't like, even though that something was in the confines of law, in the confines of freedom of speech, or just something as ridiculous as donating $25 to the Republicans. Extremely funny. But at the same time, this is not free speech. That's... I hate using that term, but that's quite literally violent speech. That's a call for domestic terrorism. That's not within free speech. Not here, not in the US. Not only it's not free speech, you can get in legal trouble. So that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny every single time. What about the freedom of speech? That's pretty cool. How about you stop killing people? Yeah, that's a good one. I don't really have an extensive tab for that, right? I'm not having enough tab today. They're complaining more about somebody like Jimmy Kimmel being canned than Charlie Kirk being killed. That's quite telling of the current situation. They're absolutely deranged. Oh, this is an attack on freedom of speech. No, it's not the first guy, and it will be not the last guy to get canned from television. It will be fine. It will be fine. And I guess I need to mention this too, right? Even though I have... Let's bring this up. From JD Vance, Jimmy Kimmel wasn't funny. His ratings were in the toilet, and his advertisers were revolting. Also, the belly aching. I was thinking of the ad, the boat. I don't know why. Also, the belly aching from the left over free speech after the Biden years fools precisely no one. It was even before Biden, but yeah. There was a point where I'd watch his show nearly every night. He's a genuinely talented guy. Well, there's so much good and fun in the world. The woke thing destroyed it. And this is pretty much the case. His ratings were in the toilet. I don't have that tweet up, which is a little bit of a shame. I think it was a TechTone tweet that mentioned, I can just record myself on my phone while just sitting on the yard and get like 3 or 5 more views than Jimmy Kimmel on television. And yeah, that used to be the case. It was pretty bad. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. I also have a nice observation here from James, the guy from Freedom Tombs, which I never really thought about this, and this is completely correct. I said this a decade ago. They believe having an income is a basic human right. They use cancel culture to strip countless people of their income. Therefore, they believe in stripping you of your basic human rights if you don't agree with them. Income was just the thing they had the power to take at the time. I mean, yeah, it's really easy to see nowadays, because they're just killing guys for disagreements. Truly insanity. Yet, here we are. I'm really surprised by reality. Not a good kind of surprise, but surprise nonetheless. What is going on? What is even happening? Well, I have no idea. Skimming at the replies here. Yeah, pretty much. And that's what I'm saying. Given the opportunity, they will gladly take your ultimate human right, which is life. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they think killing you for your opinions is not as bad as losing your job. Not just because of the Jimmy Kimmel thing, but because of countless people that got fired for spouting absolute nonsense on social media about Charlie Kirk. Which is... what did you expect? Is this the finding out the stage? Is it the reaping stage? Behold! Behold the consequences. You'll love to see it. And once again, I need to mention this because it's really funny to me. I've been on the internet for a long time. I'm not the oldest one on the internet, obviously not. But I've been on the internet for about 20 years, which is a lot. These people are, let's say, kinda new to this side, to internet, to technology, to, dare I say, social media, even though social media in itself is also kinda new. When I say kinda new, I mean about 10 years, give or take. The thing is, it has been so normalized to spout violent rhetoric, literally violent, to just use full legal name in your face, that now everything here is combining. So you have these people using full legal name, everything attached to that name. Probably the easiest example would be LinkedIn profiles, their faces on all over TikTok, all over Twitter, well, maybe not Twitter, Blue Sky, Reddit, spouting the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. Like, why you fire me? Why you fire me? Why are you so stupid? Do you understand now the importance of privacy? God, you people are so insanely stupid. It's insane to me. We allegedly belong to the same species. I just don't believe it. It's insanity. That's what you get. You've been using that hammer against people you don't like for inane BS, and now people are using it in a justified way against you, and you're complaining? Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. What do you have here? Oh, once again, the bias. I love the bias. God, political discourse is always extremely funny. Ah, but the Republicans keep cheering when this happens to the Democrats. False, fake, and gay. It's from Nick Sorter. Back in June, every single House Republican voted to pass a resolution condemning the killing of Melissa Hortman. I'm really bad with names. I think this is the Congresswoman, I think, that got killed by a guy that apparently had ties to Tim Walz, something like that. It was really strange. I don't think I covered that on the stream. Obviously, really messed up. This morning, 96 Democrats voted against or present on a resolution condemning the killing of Charlie Kirk. Here's the list. There will be no unity with these people. They have the full list here of answer present. Oh, isn't it kinda funny? Isn't it kinda funny that the first guy is named Sanchez? What does that mean? What does it mean? Yeah, we have a 58 nays and 38 presents. I'm assuming present means like neutral vote. I don't know how that works there. Also, nay. Cassie Cortez. How curious. How curious. Well, as we all know, she's a massive hypocrite, so... Escobar. Another Spanish name. How curious. How curious. I'm not saying it's because of the immigrants, but it's kinda funny. It is kinda funny, isn't it? Because it keeps happening. So that's the point. The side will condemn violence, but the other side will just spout nonsense about how the other side doesn't condemn violence, whereas themselves, the ones that do not condemn violence. God, I feel like he said the same thing like 15 times in a row. That feels so strange. That's kind of bad. That's kind of silly. But here we have a couple of clips from content creators talking about the current situation. So let's go through it. I was quite surprised by the first two, not as much by the third one. So first we have a this is a full video by Shu. It's a pretty good video, but I'm only gonna go through this really short clip here. These people are sick. She is true and real for that. 28 seconds. This is the heart of the argument. And yes, this is pretty much what's going on.
Your friend wouldn't celebrate you being murdered, of course. But if they would celebrate an exact clone of you that wasn't you, that had all the same opinions, or some of the opinions that you have, if they would celebrate that clone being murdered, they're not your friend.
Not much to that, honestly. It's pretty spot on, but I do believe that thing she says here. Let me.
Your friend wouldn't celebrate you being murdered, of course.
I'm not so sure about that anymore. They wouldn't say they would celebrate because they are allegedly your friends. But then again, the things they're saying clearly antagonize you to the highest degree. So, even though maybe, and only maybe, they wouldn't celebrate outwardly, maybe they're actually glad internally that they actually killed you. That's really messed up to think about. It's even worse. It might be even worse. That's absolutely crazy. And, you know, shit is absolutely hitting the fan when you have somebody like Shu, of all people, that doesn't want to reconcile with these absolute demons. Once again, I do truly recommend this. These People Are Sick video. It's a nice introspection. We also have from Sam Hyde. It's like an hour. He also slurs, so yeah, I'm not gonna be watching that on your stream. But this clip, this is the first almost 2 minutes and a half of his video. Holy moly, I don't know too much about the guy, that's for sure. It's my understanding, I think it is correct, that the guy is just some sort of comedian, really sarcastic, really ironic, really unhinged. And as I've seen some people claim, you know, shit is absolutely insane when you have some Hyde making a serious video, and it is truly insane.
This is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. But this right here is you. This is your sister, your wife, your daughter. This is you. This is your...
It's kind of small. Cannot blame me. The resolution is all completely scuffed.
Sister, your wife, your daughter.
That's too bad.
But this is you.
That's not that bad.
And this is their reaction when you are killed. This is the joy they feel when your sister is raped, when your children are castrated, brainwashed to hate you.
That's not even hyperbolic, as we've seen last week. They truly want Charlie Kirk's kids to go to foster parents so they can hate their actual parents. And that's just a really small example.
This is their ecstasy when the floor of the subway car is awash in your blood. This is you.
Yeah, do not forget about this guy either. I probably get more information on this or some sort of legal resolution. Everything was all kinds of fucked up with the Metcalf situation too. That was really insane.
Make no mistake, that is a symbol that is you.
Yes, Yes, that's what they mean when they say, we are all Charlie Kirk. Not because we have the same ideas, not because we're as religious as the guy, or because everybody's just willing to debate the position. No, it's because he was just a guy, and he got killed because he had quite literally extreme moderate ideas. If they will kill Charlie Kirk, they will kill you.
But this won't last long. They can't help themselves because they're so ugly and so low that the only joy they can experience, the only good that they can envision, is to take something beautiful or innocent down to their level.
This reminds me every single time of that Tolkien line, right? Something about how evil cannot create, can only corrupt. Guess that guy was actually quite wise after all, huh? Imagine that.
And when they can't do it, the next best thing is blood. This is Charlie's family.
It's kind of rough, and you can see that even Sam is really affected by this.
And these are his children who will never be able to hug their dad and grow up with a murdered father. And these are the people who smugly revel in this, and they won't stop.
I know it's wrong for me to say, but I just realized that this guy without the wig or this strange hair kinda looks like Hirohei. I'm sorry, pal, but that's quite unlucky.
With just Charlie. The boats are burned. There's nobody coming to help. The barbarians are at the gate. This is the fall of ancient Rome that we are living through currently. And what happens in the next 2 weeks is going to determine the future of mankind.
Sounds like hyperbole. I don't think it is.
That's not hyperbole.
I know this is pre-watched, but I don't remember him saying that.
That's just how it is.
And as some people have mentioned, most people will just go on with their lives and ignore what happened in about 2 weeks. But not his kids. They will never move on from that. Because something like that is just too big. Let's have this guy here mentioning the person just at the gates. From Cardinal Rorosara. As a bishop, it is my duty to warn the West. The barbarians are already inside the city. Yes, it is by design, I'm afraid. But not everybody is just sensible. Not everybody is just mentioning, well, maybe and only maybe, killing people is bad. Wow, what a hot take. How dare you? Maybe and only maybe. Some people are being absolute ghouls, absolute clowns as usual. But of course we have the worst example of them all. Fucking Hassan Piker. I really love this reply from Takedown. I genuinely believe he might just be retarded. No, I don't think he's just retarded. I think he's mostly evil. He knows exactly what he is doing. And it kinda shows. That explains why Twitch really takes action against him. I believe Ball, stick within the confines of TOS. A laughable lie, as we all know. This guy has literally promoted a terrorist on his stream. This guy has literally called for the killing of not one but 2 sitting senators of the USA on stream. This guy cannot stop promoting fucking violence. If anybody was a little bit normal and said, let's say, 5% of what this guy says on stream, they would be permabanned in less than a month. But this guy, oh no, this guy, it could never happen. The thing that maybe he doesn't know, that he's actually admitting why this is happening, which is absolutely hilarious to me.
Not gonna lie, your sub count, the only thing having them not throw you under the bus before this, probably their metrics show you're not botted and viewers largely only watch you.
Not entirely wrong. I don't know how much money he gets per view. I'm not saying necessarily by CCV. I'm saying the people that actually subscribe, the people that actually spend money. I bet it's probably much lower intensity-wise than most VTubers, which is kind of funny.
Yes. There's a couple different reasons. One, because I play ball, okay? I stick within the confines, no matter how much my haters try to fucking present it as the opposite, I stick within the confines of the terms of service.
Shun those motherfuckers and kill them. You literally said that about people you disagree with. Bathe the streets in their red capitalistic blood. You said about landlords. Show them guts. Their guts. You said that about people you don't like. Could go on, but you catch my drift.
I'm a progressive figure.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly everything that's going on. Come back, let's hear that again.
Presented as the opposite, I stick within the confines of the terms of service. I'm a progressive figure.
I'm a progressive figure. Yes. That's the meme. That's the whole argument. He's a progressive. That's why he's not getting banned.
And also, association with me for Twitch and therefore Amazon as well.
Association with me. From Twitch and Amazon, by the way. This guy thinks he's the shit. It's kind of funny.
Is a positive one in the eyes of mainstream news.
It's a positive one in the eyes of mainstream news. Absolute psychotic narcissism here. What the fuck are you again? People were calling you out on Australian TV the other day. Get the hell out of here.
Because they get a lot of prestige.
Prestige. Who the fuck are you again? Think you was a nephew? I don't know about that.
When the New York Times writes about, you know, a young activist fighting the good fight or whatever the fuck, right? Right?
It's not because it's you. You're nothing more than a figurehead. You don't matter. They're using you as a weapon. Which, at the same time, I would like that to happen to me, honestly. That's kind of strange.
On top of that, I also make money for the platform because a percentage of your subscriptions go to Twitch.
Like everybody else, you stupid fucking clown. But at the same time, we all know that Twitch is just bleeding money. It's bleeding money for years. And I don't wanna say too much. I don't wanna say too much yet. We'll need to wait like 5 minutes until I reach that. But if you become a legal liability for the platform, because they may get huge fines because you keep spouting, quite literally, promotion of domestic terrorism, they're gonna ban you. It doesn't matter what you say, they're gonna ban you because you became a liability. Congratulations. You're literally just playing yourself here. Hilarious.
So for them, they see a lot of discontent. They see a lot of anger. They see all this like bullshit.
It's not bullshit though. It's stuff you said before on stream and you didn't get banned.
And at least for the time being, they think, yeah, it's not, you know, there's no reason to just like fucking clap this person.
Well, that's what you say. That's what you say. Is that the case? We actually don't know. Do you know? You don't know either. So that's kind of funny. Let's turn on the music again. Oh boy, oh boy. So of course we have a funny meme here from Tectone. First, they came for the Game Award enjoyers. And I did not speak out because I am handsome biker and I only give a shit about myself. Then they came for the centrists and I did not speak out because I am handsome biker and I only give a shit about myself. Then they came for the VTubers and I did not speak out. because I am handsome biker, and I only give a shit about myself. Then they came for the conservatives, and I did not speak out, because I am handsome biker, I only give a shit about myself. Then they came for me. Hello? There's fascism right now. Was nobody saying anything? They're trying to deploy for me as some biker? Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And let's be real. Let's be real. It's not an attempt to deplatform the guy. Once again, the only thing people want is for the rules, the TOS, to be actually enforced for once. It's never gonna happen at this rate. Or is it? Yeah, it has the crop in here. Ah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It keeps working. Cover invites online from operators to testify as to Charlie Kirk assassination. Ho ho ho! Oh no! How did that happen? As oversight, As oversight and Government Reform Committee. Committee Chair James Comer. They're gonna call this guy James Comer, don't they? On Wednesday, invited the leaders of Discord, Reddit, Twitch, and Steam to testify before the full committee next month in the wake of the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The hearing will focus on the radicalization of online forum users. Well, I wouldn't call Steam a forum, but sure. Including instances of open incitement to commit politically motivated acts. The committee announced on Wednesday. I wanna keep reading that as Cooper. It's kinda funny. Comer sent letters on Wednesday to Discord CEO Human Saknini. That's pretty much what the platforms just asked. Infinite Indians. Reddit CEO Steve Huffman. Twitch Interactive CEO Dan Clancy. Oh boy, oh boy. Is he gonna participate? I mean, Dan Clancy is just a really wimpy guy. So if he goes, he's gonna get eaten alive. And Valve Corporation President Gabe Newell to request their testimony at the hearing on October 8th. I mean, once again, I know what they mean with Steam. It's not Steam, it's not video games, come on, let's be real. If anything, it should be VR chat, and I've seen that screenshot. It's not from the shooter, okay? It's not his Steam library or anything like that. The politically motivated assassination of Charlie Kirk claimed the life of a husband, father, and American patriot. Comer wrote in a statement announcing the hearing. In the wake of this tragedy, and amid other acts of politically motivated violence, Congress has a duty to oversee the online platforms that radicals have used to advance political violence. Okay, they mentioned Discord. See, instead of Steam, maybe they should add Blue Sky. That would make more sense. To prevent future radicalization and violence, the CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit must appear before the Oversight Committee and explain what actions they will take to ensure that platforms are not exploited for nefarious purposes. Comer continued. I understand when people say, but we don't want government involvement in this. And I'm like, okay, sure, that's fair. When you have the government, usually goes to shit. Then again, we're talking about terrorism. So, if you don't have any control and things go completely off the hook like this, you will need to accept a little bit of control. You cannot blame me, that's how it works, that's the law, baby. I wish nothing like this happened. Either the control or Charlie Kirk dying. That's not the world we live in. And this spokesperson told The Hill that they welcome the opportunity to testify next month. Well, as we've seen, this group apparently was also lying a lot, so that's gonna be kinda funny. We have received the committee's invitation and welcome the opportunity to testify. We continuously engage with policymakers on these critical issues and look forward to continuing this important dialogue next month, the spokesperson said in a statement. Sure. He has reached out to the other organization for a response. Good luck with that. Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at an event last week at Utah Valley University. The state officials are seeking the death penalty in the case against 22-year-old suspect Tyler Robinson. I understand when people say there's a lot of strange stuff with this legal case. You know what? Sure, I get it. I agree with that. But I've also seen people spouting a lot of nonsensical conspiracy theories, and I'm like, I think some of you are also losing the plot a little bit too much. I'm the first guy to be skeptical of some claims, especially from the government and government-related agencies. But at the same time, are we gonna ignore actual, I don't wanna say data. Is it proof? Actual facts, let's say, that we have. I will admit that it's really strange. I don't know how to get the full story out, so I don't even know what to do, right? Earlier this week, the Washington Post reported that Robinson appeared to confess to the killing in a Discord chat room hours before he was taken to custody by the FBI. I've seen the messages. People are saying, there's no way a 22-year-old writes like this. And I'm like, you know what? Sure, that's fair. I think that is true. But then again, I don't think that's an exact quote of the chat logs. I think that's a reconstruction from the proof that they have. Which is a little bit strange. I mean, they use some strange terminology, right? Like, was it like squad car, squad vehicle, something like that? It felt really, really strange. Some people also mentioned that it was really convenient. That look at this guy. He's just saying everything we needed to know. And I'm like, okay, but then again, the guy is 22, and he's obviously stupid. So it's kind of a 50-50 here, right? Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. Robinson said, according to the Post. It was me at UW University yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. There's other claims that a lot of people know about this. There's apparently some images of that strange song Charlie Kirk, Head at 31, Kill at 31. That AI says the guy that appears in the video is Robinson's boyfriend. It's really strange. I have no idea. Especially nowadays, because first of all, are we gonna trust AI on this? I don't think it will. And second, where does everything that you're claiming come from? I have no clue. Shut the fuck up, Windows. Let's finish the configuration. I've used this computer for like 4 years. What are you talking about? Leave me alone. I hate Windows 10. You know what? Death penalty for Windows 10 too. They deserve it. I mean the operating system, not the guys. Kill the guys, that's fucked up. The Post reported that Discord provided a copy of the message to authorities, citing a person familiar with the matter. Discord has said that an internal investigation found no evidence that the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord. Lumao. I don't know about all that. When they keep mentioning that allegedly the guy was on Antifa servers, I don't know. FBI Director Kash Patel said during congressional testimony on Tuesday that his agency is investigating anyone and everyone involved in the Discord chat, which makes sense, that sounds normal. In another report from the New York Times, the suspect allegedly said in a separate Discord chat on Thursday that a doppelganger was trying to get me in trouble. When pressed by a forum user about physical similarities he shared with the person depicted in police photos of the wanted shooter. He was just fucking around, I feel, because he was not confessing yet. I mean, sure, there are people that might look alike, but I don't know. I always thought that the doppelganger comment was a little bit strange. Maybe that's me. The Times reported that chat had 20 users, but Patel said Tuesday that the FBI is pursuing a lot more than 20 users, adding, "We're running them all down, and they're really scared. Oh, but they're helping with investigation. Yeah, they're like 20-something, and they heard here, death penalty! Death penalty! I don't wanna die!" Yeah, that's gonna happen. I think that's pretty obvious. They're trying to save their bacons. A Reddit spokesperson told The Hill that the company is investigating whether this aspect was active on its platform, but so far has not found any evidence to suggest he was. The spokesperson did not comment on the upcoming hearing. I think I've seen some posts mentioning this is the guy on Reddit, but I'm not sure if that's actually real or not. The guy, allegedly, if that was the right user, he was active on really strange and obviously really progressive subreddits. To the surprise of nobody, I suppose. That's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. But lo and behold, some people can never shut the fuck up. It's absolutely insane to me how this keeps happening. And I've criticized many game companies before for ideological reasons or just because they're full of fucking clowns, right? But the game is good. The game is good. Shut up. The game is not good. You can keep trying to gaslight. If the people don't want to buy it, they're not gonna buy it. But right now, we're reaching a point that's gonna be potentially, I can see the future at will. Potentially it will be levels of boycott and I just don't fucking care anymore that I never thought possible. It's gonna be beautiful. So we have here Bethesda, September 14th, uploading a really short clip from, I think this is the latest Indiana Jones game. They quickly deleted the clip, but it is the internet. It is way too late. It's really telling, right? It's really telling what they mean here. Fuck Bethesda, pretty much.
Huh. Nice place. You don't care much about these fascists, do you?
You don't care much about these fascists, do you? Surely they're not talking about Charlie Kirk. Surely not. Nobody would do that. Nobody would do that. Boy, if only that was the case. I have the tweet from Grounds. I've seen this tweet before, but when I clicked the Bethesda tweet, it was already out, sadly. You don't much care about these fascists, do you? Bethesda, after all your complaints about how some of their devs mocked or celebrated Charlie Kirk's death, I've given you their official answer, created their official X account. Instead of addressing millions of concerned gamers, they just decided to tell you to exactly... Cramps, please, you cannot beat this ESL. They just decided to tell you exactly who they are. This two here shouldn't be here. And what do you think of you? They will continue to call you fascist until more and more people are shot. They will continue to tell you to your face that they don't care. It's time to throw away their games and never support them again. It's another Microsoft dev studio, and this clip is from their Indiana Jones game they released last year. They clipped it and posted this yesterday. If the game is from last year, why are you using this now if it's not for political... Not the game, I'm gonna say amusement. And given that way too many devs felt emboldened to just completely mock Charlie's death, here we have Charlie tweets detected. It's not gonna be as big as DI detected or I think it was Sweet Baby detected. But it's still pretty interesting. On September 10th, 2025, not sure how much you can write here without being removed, but Charlie Kirk died. In the aftermath, rumors individuals cheered. These people work on these games. We have some recommendations too. Let's see, not recommended. It's going not by games but by studios, which is quite telling. I mean, as it should be, right? Bethesda is not just Skyrim after all. Oh, what about the Skyrim 2? The Elder Scrolls 6. It's never coming out, and if it does, it's gonna flop. It's insane. Here we have, what is this? Ire a prologue. Coming soon. Good job. Marketing manager says many awful things. Kirk, Maggie, etc. Wonder if Maggie will start wearing bandages on neck. What if? Blank. It was his scorned gay lover, etc. It's not kinda funny when the only one that had a gay lover was the shooter. Magic the Gathering Arena. Oh, we wrote about this last week. It was really bad. Not recommended. Producer liked several posts on Blue Sky associating Kirk with out-of-context things, associating him with violence that he didn't do. Message cases. Penguin Colony. Coming soon. Oh boy. They've inaccurately said Charlie Kirk wished death on his friends. Blue Sky. Apparently they're actually banning people on Blue Sky. Only 24 hours. So you know it's bad. When you're too extremist for Blue Sky, what are you doing? Battlefield 6. Devon Blue Sky said didn't deserve a debate, and Charles' rhetoric led to the violence that took his life, and victim blaming. That's not even true, but sure. Diablo 4. People at Blizzard being clowns. Yeah, that checks out. Here's Blizzard devs have been celebrating September 10th. Murangi Generation. They've inaccurately said Charlie Kirk wished death on his friends. Blue Sky is probably the same company as Penguin Colony. Necromancer of Nowhere. Not out yet. Artist posted a joke image after Kirk's death that made fun about advocating violence. Also on the 10th, a gif of Kylo Ren healing more, thinly veiled by timing suspect. Could be, couldn't be, but yeah, it is suspect, that's for sure. Loving a battle, coming soon. They've commented positively and opposed implying violence is the answer. What these people don't understand is that when you justify violence against people you don't like, there's people that don't like you, they're gonna use violence against you. Maybe that shouldn't be bad, that shouldn't be allowed? Maybe that's actually bad? What a hot take, I know. Spider-Man 2. Kurt Russell's artist called Kirk a 1940s German party member and Nazi. I don't care about that. They never will understand and can come back to them. Yes, because that's literally what's happening with the quote-unquote cancel culture already. People were saying for more than a decade, but you shouldn't do this because this can happen to you. This will never happen to me unless there cannot be just ideology, right? They had to be stupid. They had to be extremely stupid not to understand what you mean by this can happen to anyone and you belong to the group of anyone because everybody can be anyone, right? In this case, it's really strange. Also, the game fucking sucks and the Ren Craven shoehorned MG sanctions again, and Miles should have his own hero name. I mean, yeah. A strange combination of criticism, but I get it. This is FVC Firebreak. I think I've seen mentions of this game before. Next. Yeah, it's not good. Community manager in Blue Sky dismissed the call to not threaten violence. Foolish behavior. What? Why would you do that? Jeez. Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Oh boy. That's an ironic name. Okay, this is the same company. See, okay, I got you. Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. Just regular Max Payne, same company, see, because the note is the same. Alan Wake, more like Alan Woke. Wasn't the second game like very bad? Got to break, control, yeah, this is all the same company. This is Adaka. Called for the death of fascists on Twitter back in January. Blogging discussion about it in their community. The Scoping. Server September 10th on Blue Sky. Wow, another funny name. Cruelty Squad. Whoa, what the hell is that? Oh my god. That's a little bit too busy. On Blue Sky, they've shouted out a user-generated map that reiterates the site of September 10th. Is this the game that actually added the map to to the game. It's kind of fucked up. This is Psycho Patrol R. Still funny. Same guy, see? Wake. Nighttime studio had when Trump was pew pew. Ah, Jesus Christ. This is not even YouTube. Come on. When Trump was shot, the supporters decided to. This rhetoric is what I'm trying to put an end to. This is more Night Dive, so we have System Shock 2. System Shock 1, which makes sense. We also have Shadow Man Remastered. We have Strife Veteran Edition. For a second remastered. No, okay, I thought this was the really bad game. And that was Forspoken. Completely different. We have Sing Gold. We have Blood Fresh Supply. Power Slave Exhumed. Blade Runner Enhanced Edition. Rise of the Triad Ludicrous Edition. Wake 2. Turok, shame. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. All of these names are kind of funny, aren't they? Turok 3. Shadows of Oblivion Remastered. Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered. Now, POW Definitive Edition. I don't know what this is. I Have No Mouth and a Master Scream. Don't we all? Healing Time Resurrected. The Thing Remastered. This is Heretic plus Hexen. Outlaws plus a handful of missions. System Shock 2 25th Anniversary Remaster. Ah, this is a new one. Did the game designer call the moment of silence for Charlie Was Gross? Oh, okay. Once again, these people should write things a little bit easier for me to understand sometimes. Yeah. It's not that it was worse for the lead game designer to call a moment of silence. It's that the lead game designer thought that calling a moment of silence for Charlie was gross. Okay, I got you. I struggled a little bit there. So we have Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Oh boy, Final Fantasy XIV. Numerous awful posts from employees in Blue Sky accounts, including a report that mentioned purging people. And this is kind of funny, because as we've seen recently, Final Fantasy XIV was not doing so hot with the last expansion, update. So, good job. Sure, kill the game, why not? Starfield, Bethesda, of course. In another little tweet, the Bethesda Twitter account posted a screenshot from Indiana Jones employee didn't care that a fascist is gone. A week out from September 10th, thinly veiled reference on Kirk. Yep, pretty much. Developer to the celebration of September 10th, we have Shovel Game to be announced, Automaton Long, Willful, Automaton Heart, more Bethesda, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Doom and Doom 2, Doom 64, just Doom, 2016 I suppose, Doom Eternal, Fallout Shelter, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Skyrim, Oblivion Remaster, The Elder Scrolls Online, Doom The Dark Ages, Fallout 76, which was not doing hot. How is this thing 40 bucks? What? Okay, alright, sure thing, pal. I'm surprised it's not free to play. Developer reposted post saying Charlie played the victim and was suicidal. What are you talking about? Perfect Nines, Station to Station, 2026, good luck with that, and Perfect Dies. Yes, the designer in Blue Sky reposted the post that Charlie Kirk, called Charlie, part of the Nazis. This rhetoric is what started this mess. Generation Exile, 2025. Ooh. There's the designer on Blue Sky. Yeah, this is the same company as Subnautica 2. Into the Bridge soundtrack, so I'm assuming Into the Bridge, the game too. Faster Than Light, it's just the soundtrack, I'm assuming also the game, obviously. Creator said it was wrong to mourn an open person white nationalist. Super lesbian animal RPG. Well, that checks out, doesn't it? Narrative designer slash writer reposted that they hope September 10th radicalizes people against people like Charlie. It's gonna be the opposite, but sure. First Bite. An LGBTQ plus vampiric visual novel. One night, 3 vampires make a deal with death or die trying. I choose death. Okay, the spirits, same company, I'm assuming. Also extremely gay. I mean, it's right there by their own admission. Thinner World Artists reposted post. The victim. Yeah, we've seen some of this. So they're not in order. So marathon to be announced. Wasn't marathon also in really hot water? Oh my god, not being a fucking clown shouldn't be this difficult. Rabbit. Apologize, but originally called lead developer called Charlie in Nazi. The celebration of September 10th from Carbon Sandwich Team. I think I saw that tweet. Oh, the power wash. A programmer posted on Blue Sky posted to compare Charlie to fascists. To call someone as a fascist language which led to September 10th. Shame. Oh, Among Us. Among Us! Okay, user claiming to be a dev reposted the post to compare Charlie to Nazis. I expect you to die 3, cooking the machine. An engineer credited in the game reposted the post comparing Charlie to Nazis. I expect you to die 3. Be fine if it was actually 2. Dragon Age the fail guard. Not like this, man. Cultural consultant reposted comparison to victim as Nazis on Blue Sky. Classic. Reddit contributor reposted comparison to victim as Nazis on Blue Sky. Oh, Hitler in this case. Okay. As State of Decay 2 in Juggernaut Edition. The director and lead writer said it was copyright infringement. Celebrate what happens September 10th, 2025. Hive Swap, Act 1. More Blizzard stuff. We have the Overwatch 2. Season 18. Carbon Sandwich. I think I showed this tweet last week actually. And, of course, Ghost of Tsushima. Welcome Founder. And Wiggle Language condemned Luigi tweet. SP0 producer liked the post as well. We've seen a lot of stuff about devs for Ghost of Yote, so you know it's gonna be bad. Just recommend some stuff. I'm not quite sure about the recommendations here. Offer free copy, showed support for Charlie. I mean, most of these are pretty much in the stuff that we have Daisy, Arma 3. 2013 and they still use footage of this game for war coverage, that's crazy. Yeah, it's mostly in the games, which I guess it makes sense. Kingdom Come Deliverance, for all their faults, I guess. Still here called down violence against Kirk. That's the correct thing to do, even though they became kinda gay with the second game, by their own admission. So Lash, of course, they will stand up for Charlie. Follow the dev on Twitter, actually. Lots of following. The few developers have seen publicly rebuke people celebrating September 10th, and will fire anyone who does it. Support this game. This is like a Souls-like, right? I never got into Souls-like. But yeah, I guess, I mean, if you want to support these guys, I think it's fair. I would recommend against supporting the not recommended. And information we have people that got fired from companies. They have Ready or Not, Neo Jack City, Chrono Gear, Warding of Time, Gears of War, and Salt Sea Chronicles. Oh boy. And I can tell that the list should be way bigger than this, to be fair. But it's probably just a guy or a real small group of people doing this. So, things are gonna get through the cracks, right? That's gonna happen. Oh boy. And let's make no mistake about it. Gaming recently has been a fucking disaster. I've been laughing at them for quite some time. But usually they do some really stupid shit, right? It's not just mocking somebody dying. But we also have this. Happened to Sony, it's happening to Microsoft now. Xbox console prices go up again in USA starting October 3rd. Why would you buy an Xbox? Why would you? It's not even good. And that's gonna be more expensive. You want the small one? Give me $400. How about now? How about now? God damn it, console gaming is fucking cooked like this. No wonder people flock to Nintendo. God damn it. I didn't really know where to put this. I guess it was gaming related, so it was here. In other disastrous news, we have this from Asmongold. A few days ago, my father passed away. It's difficult for me to even find the words for the emptiness it leaves me with. He was my last family member in the States, and I was there with him until the end. I will endure, but I don't think I'll ever be the same. I love you, Pa. And, I mean, it was cancer, so shit was rough already. I think his dad was like 78 or 79, so it was a pretty decent run, but it is pretty rough to lose the parent, man. It's pretty fact. Holy shit, he looks like a little kid here. He's so young. God damn. It's... I hope he can grieve properly. I hope he doesn't go out of the deep end, because it's rough. It's rough. I mean, Asmongold is not at old. He's like 35, right? Having lost both your parents by 35 is quite a lot. Oh man. Oh man. And it is kind of rough. World of Warcraft jacket, of course. It's kind of rough if you're just out here consuming content, because you would usually watch, at least on this side, on the content sphere, I suppose, you would probably watch guys like Asmongold and Tectone, and they're not around right now because they have their personal problems, so yeah, it's all sorts of fucked up, man. But at least, he was there with him till the end, which is probably the best thing he could do. Oh, but I don't think there's a good segue for the next. So it's gonna be a little bit strange. Let's talk about censorship for a little bit, shall we? Also, a topic of mine, per topic of mine. That there has been some sort of narrative going around recently because of Bocce the Rock. It's not an anime that I'm saying, I haven't read the manga, but I know a lot of people like it. Apparently they were removing fan service because it was noise. Well, I would say that's more like nice, but you know. Bocce the Rock, a screenwriter removes fan service, calls it noise. I also have I think it's an interview. I don't know if we will have more information, but we'll see. Erika Yoshida, the screenwriter for the Bocce the Rock anime series, recently participated in an interview where she had some things to say about fan service and censorship. According to Yoshida, in her work there are things that she considers to be noise, which detracts from the intended message of the source material when adapting it to television. Well, first of all, that's not your call. You're adapting a manga, you didn't make the manga. So it's not for you to decide. This has led to concern among some fans that Yoshida may be censoring her projects for ideological reasons, similar to Western translators. And that seems to be the case from what I'm seeing. I don't know if it's actually in the interview. I don't think he said the tweet. Yoshida goes on to say that she feels that fan service on works such as My Bashi Witches, another title she worked on, amounts to child sexual exploitation. People said this would never happen in Japan, but now look at this. However, she appears to only hold these feelings for official works, and in what appears to be a contradictory statement says, I don't mind if fans interpret the characters however they like. anything they're free to draw and imagine whatever they want on their own. Translation from Google. I mean, don't think this is a contradiction. What she's saying here is that for yourself you can do whatever you want, but not in an official way. It is still fucked up though. She then explains how she feels about the noise of fan service and what sort of what sort of content she felt they need to remove from budget rock, such as in the original manga, Hitori-chan, Benkater Goto Hitori, is naked in the scene where she takes a bath, but in the anime she's in a swimsuit. If you're taking a bath at home, why are you using a swimsuit? It doesn't make any sense. You could just add some sort of fog, mist, or whatever. You don't need to show full nipple. This is not the 70s anymore, right? That would be understandable, because age rating is also kind of different nowadays. If the patients like that were the selling point of Botaru, that's budget rock, that would be fine. But I don't think that's the case. Any thought that depictions like that could be distracting when aiming for dominance. Funny wording, to say the least. Other notes, Botaru is a variation of budget rock. Bochizaruku. Yeah, obviously. It's worth mentioning that Yoshida claims that she worked closely with the original creator of the series while adapting it to anime. But then again, this is Japanese society. I've seen manga artists being really meek, actually. Like, wow, they are making an adaptation of my humble manga. That's so crazy. I guess I shouldn't be criticizing them a whole lot. That could be bad. I don't know. I don't want this to become a reality, and if I'm too snarky, they may cancel the project. It's also, once again, Japanese society. Really open criticism is not really well received, because they are collectivistic, they are, I don't want to say classist, that sounds like I'm a fucking commie. But they value a lot their, I don't want to say elders, their senpai, if that makes any sense, right? People that have been longer in their business, in their companies and whatnot, they usually value that a lot because of traditional values passed down. They're really traditional in that regard. That's how the Yakuza works too, for example. Strange comparison, I know, but please understand. When adapting a series for television, audiences begrudgingly accept that some censorship is inevitable due to the difference between what you can get away with on TV versus in a book. Kind of a shame, but sure. However, fans are concerned that Yoshida's particular statements put a moral judgment on foreign service, which could extend to ecchi titles as a whole. Censorship in anime and manga is becoming a global issue, which institutions such as the UN and even lawmakers in the US drafting resolutions and laws which could have a chilling effect on freedom of expression. Update. Manganote Sensei, who created Mushoku Tensei, has spoken up to criticize Yoshida's statements. That's kinda funny, we have a auto translation from the tweet. Words like noise or exploitation are also conveniently used in SNES. That's not Sword and Shield, this is not Monster Hunter, this is social media. The worst things people don't like, so even if the counter doesn't carry that much of a negative connotation, when someone officially involved uses them, it tends to stir up unnecessary controversy, right? Yeah, it's, once again, it's not that you will never see any kind of censorship, but god, I wish that was the case. But it's more of a case of, it feels really suspect, which is always a fucking problem. Because once again, you know censorship bad, what a take. Okay, this is a machine translation, so it's gonna be a little bit scuffed too. Rika Yoshida, the screenwriter of Bocchi the Rock and Tiger to Wings. Torato to Tsubasa? I don't know what that is actually. Talks about the harmfulness of anime and expression. The harmfulness of expression. What about free speech though? Oh boy, this is kinda long. So I might skim a little bit here. Table of contents, the violence of love drama. People who think they understand are the worst? Okay, that's Fuck you! Fuck you! Nicely managed to aim for supremacy. Fuck you, huh? Wow, okay, alright. That's not good. Holy moly. Person who cannot raise his name for the Death Note of the Heart. Difference between a live action drama and the anime script. I'm afraid that anime culture will be disrupted. Ultimate goal and minimum standard. I should have read beforehand. Actually, something I usually don't do. Let's see. Among the works that have been created will continue to work energetically. The first thing about the drama Kusei no Futari from the NHK won the Manga Kuniko Award. It is a award that depicts the joint life of a man and a woman, of a romantic asexual who have no romantic feelings or sexual desires for others, who have little sexual orientation, romantic, but whoa, this is really scuffed. This is really scuffed. It's way worse than I expected. It's usually not this bad. Okay, let's see. I don't think they understand are the worst. I don't think it was this one. People who think they understand are the worst. After working on the serial drama Kusei no Futari, Nelson wrote... It's not a gender language. She also wrote the screenplay for the one-off drama The Bang of Physiology and His Daughter on the same NHK General. As the title suggests, this is the story of Yukio, the main character. Yukio, passionate public relations man from a center product manufacturer who works as an uncle for menstruation, and his daughter Hana, who has complicated feelings about her father. Huh? Okay. And about their menstrual cycle, because of his remarks. He caused the fire and the flowers left the house. That's an idiom for sure. By the value has to be. Oh, hold up. Put the mouse to the side. By the balance that the understanding of those who are not the parties to this kind of person was also depicted in the drama. It is not what I was looking for. Still loading. Why? Why? Oh, it has several pages. That's crazy. So translate this. The only thing because it's an anime expression. Might be around here. Dark event, Erika Yuchi that refers to the characters being sexually consumed is a particularly strong sense of resistance. They're not real people, it's fine, right? It's just fiction after all. It doesn't matter how the fans get the characters to look at it. I think it's free to imagine whatever you want to draw individually. The official said, let's exploit it. There is resistance to spreading it as much as you say it. It's not exploitation, it's a fictional character! Oh my god. Are we sure this is Japan? Ochizaroku. Okay. This is what we're saying. Ah, that's a type, isn't it? Or it doesn't spring off. That's what is that? Koku, that's a ko after all. That's kind of strange. I don't know too much about it. I'm afraid that anime culture will be disrupted. Okay, it might be here, I'm not sure. The reason why I'm particular about the necessity of each work and the appropriate expression is because I have a special feeling similar to the sense of crisis about anime. Even though 99% of people are okay, I fear that the anime culture will be disrupted by the fact that 1% of radical people do something. Because there are various works, we must maintain rules, moderation, and ethics. So that they have radical works and things that have been shaken up to R18. And if you decide to do it, I think that I can be involved in such work as much as possible. But in that case, you need to be careful not to see minors. Oh, god fucking damn it. It's just the fucking Twitter rhetoric. In today's world where children can easily access streaming services, genre division and zoning should be more important. The problem here is always the same. Oh, but the kids can just access streaming services. Act like a fucking parent for once. Jesus Christ, the fucking same problem in the UK. Let's see, live action anime, that's not what I'm looking for. Screenwriter, ultimate goal. It's not here, it might have been something different then. I saved a screenshot, I don't have it saved anywhere, sadly. That apparently this woman was talking about how she was raising her kid. It was something really strange about her trying to have her kid being some sort of gender-neutral jellyfish. It was really, really strange. People were saying, are you really gonna call grooming to just raising your kid? Well, that's what people say about Christians, to be fair. But at the same time, the kid is obviously a boy, and he's attracted to boy stuff, that's normal. There was some criticism because, you know, he likes Ultraman. Yeah, Ultraman is kinda fucking cool. And he keeps spouting stuff like, men have to keep their promises. Like, okay, but how is that bad? That doesn't mean women can just lie. That means that men have a special sense of honor. That's it. None of that is actually wrong. Kind of fucked up. And we have a comparison of what got censored in Bocce the Rock. We have the manga and the anime. So, it is my understanding from somebody that hasn't seen this anime before. I have seen it. I haven't watched it, which is different, right? But it is my understanding that there's something funny about the situation. That you have the main character being an absolute loner and completely antisocial, but she doesn't have the physical characteristics of that type of character. She has big tits. She could be, or perhaps normally, she should be a pretty popular chick in school. That's my understanding. Maybe it's just big tits because big tits. I don't care really, but there's nothing wrong with this even, so who knows? We also have counter arguments here from anime TV. Fan service is a necessity for the medium to thrive, like it or not. Also, we have to mention that fan service doesn't mean tits necessarily. There are several types of fan service, right? When you see, let's say, Goku getting a new transformation, it's kind of fan service, right? When you see Gogeta Blue fighting Broly, that's kind of fan service. It can be explained in the series and whatnot, but it's kind of fan service. Most people are not jerking into Goku. There gotta be some people. There's gotta be some people. But that's still fan service. When sexuality strengthens storytelling. I haven't read this one either. I know I cannot stop at the next picture. It may be too risque. Fan service. Just in the phrase, snuff the sparkling line flame war. True. Some fans defend it as part of anime's DNA, while others deride it as a cheap, unnecessary, or even harmful. The truth, as it's often the case, somewhere in the middle. But here's the reality. Anime has always dealt with sexuality and adult themes, and pretending otherwise isn't just inaccurate, it's counterproductive. When handled with intention, fan service can enhance storytelling, add depth to characters, and reflect human experiences that are both awkward and intimate. Rejecting it outright, as has become increasingly popular among a generation already struggling with social anxieties around intimacy, risks stripping anime of a cultural nuance that has defined it for decades. Not only that, there's something here really obvious. You have, for example, shonen. We'll say shonen. It's pretty much a teenager. You know what teenagers like? Tits. If they're big and fat, it's even better. So, yeah, they enjoy seeing that in their mangas and their animos. Are we surprised? We aren't really. I think I want to say something else here and I completely forgot. I know what it was. Can't wait till the end. Wow, it's kind of spicy. Okay, it's just an image. I think that's more legal than showing vtuber hips, which is kinda funny when you think about it. Anime has never shied away from adult themes, from the psychological trauma exploring in Genesis Evangelion. Is it Genesis or Genesis? It's Genesis, right? It's biblical. To the mature romance in Nana or Inuyasha. I don't think Inuyasha was all that mature, but sure. Sexuality and relationships have always been part of the medium. Fan service, whether in the form of playful humor, character vulnerability, or even tension in battle scenes, has long served as a way to both humanize and complicate characters. Of course, not all fan service is created equal. People are not created equal. Classic line. Some is clumsy, gratuitous, or feels tacked on for shock value. But some is deliberate, woven into the plot in a way that heightens character development or adds stakes to a narrative. I mean, there's nothing wrong with ecchi, you don't need to like it, but there's nothing wrong with it. This amazing whole tale ignores the diversity, how it is being used, and how it can function as a meaningful storytelling device. Obviously here, mudding. A lot of people have been criticizing this anime, it's really funny. It's so misogynistic. Did you know that the original creator is actually a woman? Funny stuff. In recent years, criticism of fanservice has become louder and more mainstream. Social media, as usual, has amplified voices that frame it as outdated or inappropriate. Studies have taken note. Anyone's brimming with suggestive humor or provocative tension now often opts for safer, sterilized narratives meant to avoid controversy. And not only that. I mentioned this before, I guess I need to mention this again. Age rating changed in Japan, and I do remember this change. It happened live, baby. It was like 2009? Maybe it was the early 2010s. That you suddenly saw a bunch of animes that were actually releasing and getting censored in real time. Because they changed, at that point, how age ratings for anime worked. So, no more blood, no more spicy stuff. If you want to have those, higher rating. That's why you don't get extremely bloody shonen anymore. Actually aimed to shonen. Like Dragon Ball, but I guess the best example would be Saint Seiya. Holy shit, the amount of blood they have. Look at this guy, look at Shiryu. He's going to fix these armors. That's really dangerous. You might kill yourself. And that's only fixing one. He actually fixed both and went back to fight. Why do you have, I don't know, 200 liters of blood in your body? That's a lot. That's absolutely crazy. This cultural shift isn't happening in isolation. Studies on surveys suggest that younger generations are increasingly anxious about intimacy. Yes, that's a really big societal problem. Not only in the West. Recent social isolation, digital-first lifestyles, and a climate of hypercritical online discourse have contributed to a climate where many people... You said climate twice, that's not good. Where many people are more comfortable avoiding depictions of sex altogether. That's kinda lame. That discomfort is understandable, but it has consequences. Excuse me. Being honest with demand, anime scrub itself clean of adult themes. They're asking the being to deny a part of the human experience. They just want it to be sanitized, which is the antithesis of art. Art is supposed to make us uncomfortable at times. It's supposed to push boundaries, not just soothe them. Okay, that's an ass. The best uses of fan service are never just about the surface. They're about what the moment reveals. Consider when a character's composure slips in an awkward situation, showing vulnerability that strengthens their bond with another, or when suggestive scene underscores the intensity of a relationship, adding the stakes of the drama to come. And this article is trying to paint fan service as something grand, part of storytelling. It can be just titties and it's fine. You didn't need to see full nipple on Yurusei Yatsura back in the 70s. But why not? That would never happen nowadays. Even battle-heavy shonen series have shown how sexuality and physicality can influence combat dynamics, character motivations, an audience investment. At its most effective, fan service can be funny, poignant, or even tragic. You can humanize characters by showing sides of them that might otherwise remain hidden. Reading that entirely robs anime of one of its most distinctive strengths, its ability to embrace extremes, both emotional and aesthetic, in ways Western media often avoids. That's not a bad point. This is an argument for uncritical acceptance of all fan service. Anime still struggles with lazy drops, objectification, they're literal objects! Shut up! And ton of whiplash when fan service is handled poorly. Those issues deserve critique. So I get... We still have to finish this, but... This kinda looks to me like that classic meme, right? I'm jerking it, but because of a far more nuanced reason than you. Which is kind of stupid, you're still jerking it and it's fine. So, what's the big deal? Well, I wouldn't know. Kinda silly. Hold up, let me... There we go. But the answer is censorship by culture, nor the growing trend of blanket rejection. The answer is discernment. We should be asking whether fan service serves the story, the character, or the emotional truth of the scene. When it does, it deserves appreciation, not dismissal. And now, was it there because the other wanted it? Yes, cool. If you don't like it, it's not for you. It's just that easy, dude. It's just that easy. Yeah, people are so annoying. Oh my god, speaking of unproductive. Why are the bots spamming twice now? They're going crazy here. I don't like them. Get them out. Get them killed. Fucking bots. Always annoying me. Anime has always thrived on its ability to explore themes that other mediums shy away from. Pretending that sexuality has no place in it not only misrepresents its history, it also denies audiences that change to engage with stories that reflect real human complexity. Anime is bold because it doesn't always play safe. It's emotional, dramatic, awkward, sometimes messy. That's what makes it resonate. Removing sexuality and adult themes out of fear or discomfort, risks sanding down the edges that make it unique. From anime crosses into mainstream Western markets, always a bad idea. There will always be tension over what is appropriate, but instead of sanitizing the medium, we should embrace its range. Fan service can be tasteless or it can be transformative. The difference is intention. No! The difference is, I don't care if you think it's tasteless, it's there for a reason. The author knows, and maybe the reason is just, I like big titties. It's not for you to decide if you should take that out, because, oh, it's not a grand statement. That's a grand pair of titties. That's good enough sometimes. God, these people are so gay. If the next generation of us learns to reject it entirely, not because of poor execution, but out of anxiety about intimacy itself, anime risks losing parts of its cultural soul, and that's something worth fighting against. I expected better. It was not that bad, but I expected better. That was kind of annoying, but sure. It's not the only wrong thing that's happening with Japan nowadays. We had a bunch of immigrants going in, which is never good. But we also have this thing going in. Katrina Lunakis, the renowned localized rather than non-binary character to Vanillaware's 13 Sentinels, has been offered the job as localization director by a major video game company and is moving to Tokyo. I don't know which company. I would like to know, because I don't want to spend any money in those games. I'm moving to Tokyo! After 3 years at Deluxe, I've accepted an offer at the major video game company. As a localization director, I can wait to dive back into game luck, start the next chapter of my life in Japan. Wouldn't surprise me if this was actually Capcom. And can we see everything here? Not quite, hold up. This is a classic meme. That's why he cross-dresses from Japanese. That's more convenient for me. And lets me keep it the secret that I'm alive. In English. Let's say some binaries work for me, and others don't. This lets me hide the fact that I'm even alive. Binaries. Just learn to code. bitch, as they say. Nowadays you didn't get banned for saying that, which is kinda nice. Finally, justice. Justice has been served. Hold on, that's the wrong thing. There we go. And of course, we keep having more fucking censorship in Japan because of fucking course, Square Enix. Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined has to be probably the worst subtitle I've ever seen for a game. Censored Akira Toriyama's original Ice design, replaces some subplots with new scenarios. Oh boy. Gonna be bad, isn't it? Yet again, making unnecessary changes to one of their original classics. Square Enix's upcoming Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined will not only have, I'm assuming, this guy's need an editor, Ash wearing a censored version of her original Akira Toriyama design outfit. Also get some of its more irrelevant subplots in favor of brand new scenarios. It's not surprising given the censorship in 3 already, so to be expected. Maribel, Hiro, and Kiefer. Mamoru Miyano, really? Yuki Aoi, that's crazy. I guess he looks kinda goofy. I guess Mamoru Miyano's actually fair. Original release in 1997, Dragon Quest 7 Fragments of the Forgotten Past isn't that a funny subtitle? There's the tale of the hero, the generic placeholder name for each game's nameable protagonist. A young boy who, along with his friends Kiefer and Maribel, returns the magical and mysterious time travel device, discovering their hometown, spend their days adventuring through their world's past. Each of their good deeds ultimately serving to restore forgotten towns and their citizenship to reality. Eventually, their troubles lead them to discover a piece of a previously unknown map, which, to their surprise, depicts another, such as the continent sitting right across from theirs in the vast sea. Since there could be more to this plot than a simple the three set out. Than a simple what? Adventure? The three set out to figure out just what kind of power could erase an entire landmass from memory, as well as a way to ultimately bring it back. I mean, graphics-wise, doesn't look bad. But what about the censorship, man? Having previously received the remake for the Nintendo 3DS in 2013, the time-hopping RPG will get yet another refresh with Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined. Reimagined with a D. You need it. And get it really bad. Which will allow players on the Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, PlayStation 5 and PC platforms to experience the hero's dance with the very fabric of reality in a whole new way. Per the game's official announcement, this new version of the game features a new handcrafted visual aesthetic that brings the world and its characters to life, like never before. Not only that, but revamped battle mechanics and the quality of life features make the game feel fresh and modern, whether you're a new player or a serious veteran. So the game is gonna be easier. I need to get off my ass and actually make that video. Now that things are a little bit coming down with the Charlie Cook situation. I truly need to make a video about convenience in video games. There has also been significantly streamlined, told through a series of vignettes with an overarching narrative. It's been reworked to be easier and more accessible to players. I know what they mean here, but I don't like that. Accessibility? That's just lore, okay? But still maintaining the narrative depth the game is known for. Speaking to his vision for Reimagined, producer Takeshi Ichikawa, who Republican Toronto searchers do not appear to have any prior video game dev history. Dull fans. Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined is a new version of Dragon Quest 7 that has been rebuilt from the ground up for modern audiences. Oh no, there it is! Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Not the modern audience! God fucking damn it. When we decided to remake Dragon Quest 7, we thought deeply about the visual direction. We wanted audiences worldwide, not just in Japan, to grow fond of the charming characters designed by Akira Toriyama. God damn it, it keeps happening. So in order to debate the depth and feel of Dragon Quest VII's story mode vividly, story mode by the way, we took a new challenge for the Dragon Quest series, employing a handcrafted art style and developing in-game environments that resembles dioramas. Okay, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. What about the rest? Dragon Quest VII Reimagined not only reimagines the visual and emotional portrayal of its characters, but also makes the game's story significantly more approachable and accessible. It's a video game. It's a video game. It cannot be that difficult to get into. So, whether you enjoyed Dragon Quest VII on its original release, struggle to collect all the tablets, or just experiencing the Dragon Quest series for the first time, we believe this game will provide a satisfying experience. We hope you all enjoy it. I don't think that's gonna happen. However, despite his professed love for 3M's design, Reimagined's first trailer reveals that the party's resident warrior dancer, Ice, formerly Ira prior to the 3DS remake, has been covered up in comparison to her original depiction. When the original Ice covered the lower half of her body with a tattered skirt and red bikini-style bottoms, more like a fundoshi, but sure, loincloth as they call them here. As intended to visually communicate with her background as a nomadic dancer, and her battle-hardened resolve to protect her fellow rover tribesmen, she now sports a more polite pair of red bike shorts. Recently, where the female wear from Dragon Quest III began to have her design censored, starting with 2015's Dragon Quest of the Stars, I shrugged her original outfit as recently as 2021's Dragon Quest of the Stars. That's kind of crazy. This is the OG, which... this is normal, this is nothing wrong. And here she has the shorts. And far from the only change, in a separate interview with Square Enix, Ichikawa confirmed his aforementioned plans to streamline the game's story. The reimagined elements of the narrative allude to improvements in the game's overall framework, which offers a much deeper and more compelling experience. In order for to streamline the overall story progression and provide a more engaging narrative, we decided to cut subplots that have little or no direct relevance to the main scenario. God forbid we get fucking side quests in a JRPG! Jesus Christ, why are you like this? They're literally cutting content like this, not good. While some content has been removed, literally, by their own admission, entirely new scenarios have also been introduced. Our goal was to build upon the strengths of the original game, while striving to deliver a deeper, more immersive story experience for modern players. That's kind of fast. That's pretty trashy. I don't like that. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? God damn it, that's so bad. Oh boy, oh boy. The modding audience. Cool. Cool. Well, I expected you're gonna have anything from Square Enix. We're gonna have anything from Square Enix. It's always gonna be annoying. They have to always fuck shit up. Holy moly, dude. Why are they like this? What the? Get out of here. Oh, it was complete trash. God damn it, that's so ass. Let's get back to the West for a second here, shall we? Let's go to California. California builds on social media and AI chatbots fuel privacy fears. Yay! More of this! They will spit mental health urgency against the right to private digital conversations. What? It's really strange. I've read a little bit about this. It doesn't make any sense to me. Two controversial tech-related bills have cleared the California legislature, and now with decisions from Governor Gavin Newsom, setting the stage for a potential significant change in how social media and AI chatbot platforms interact with their users. Both proposals raise red flags among privacy advocates who warn they could normalize government-driven oversight of digital spaces. The first, Assembly Bill 56, would require social media companies to display persistent mental health warnings to minors using their platforms. Holy shit, dude. Why are you like this? Oh, the mental health. Bring back bullying. A complete necessity at this point. From a 2023 US Surgeon General report, the legislation mandates that platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat show black box warning labels about potential harm to young mental health. Why are mine saying Snapchat, by the way? Well, remember that back in the day because you had a horse. Sure, notes there. The alert would appear for 10 seconds of logging, again after 3 hours of use, and once every hour after that. Just parent your fucking kids! Why is this so difficult? Supporters, including Assembly member Rebecca Bauer-Cahan and Attorney General Rob Bonate, claim the bill is necessary to respond to what they described as a youth mental health emergency. Critics of the bill argue it inserts the state messaging into private platforms in a way that undermines user autonomy and treats teens as passive recipients of technology, rather than individuals capable of making informed choices. Don't fuck with me with that, okay? You're against this for the wrong fucking reasons. No, they cannot make informed choices because they are kids. Shut up. The slippery slope that never happens. Newsom has until October 13th to sign or veto the measure. The second proposal, Senate Bill 243, could significantly expand the surveillance of private conversations between users and AI-powered chatbots. I don't like AI, but this is not the way to go, boy. That's not the way to go. Okay, that's kind of funny. The legislation would require companies that operate so-called companion chatbots to detect and respond to signs of suicidal ideation, self-harm, or suicide mentioned by users. I get it. I understand that people talking to AI and then killing themselves is a problem. But at the same time, I don't know, I don't think this is the solution. You're also tampering with the AI, so I don't know about that. These platforms will also be required to report data to the state's Office of Suicide Prevention each year, including the number of instances in which users express suicidal thoughts, how often chatbots raise the issue themselves. In practice, these requirements will force chatbot providers to monitor users' interactions in real time. Isn't that a big problem too? Hello, what about privacy? Privacy. Sure thing, pal. This structure places emotional well-being in direct tension with user privacy, effectively institutionalizing a system in which companies must watch, analyze, and report on the most intimate conversations people might have with AI companions. I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. Once again, I don't like AI. I don't like these people that have intimate conversations with AI companions, and I don't like the government. God. It's so ass. I guess I'd rather be on the side of people having these conversations because I enjoy privacy, I suppose. Attorney General Bonte added fuel to the campaign last year, stating, social media companies have demonstrated an unwillingness to tackle the mental health crisis, instead digging in deeper into harnessing addictive features and harmful content for the sake of profits. He emphasized that while warning labels alone are not enough, they represent a necessary part of the response. I don't think that those labels are gonna do anything. Do you know how many people stopped smoking because of the labels? Nobody. Nobody! Because it has nothing to do with the dangers. Because most of these people are addicted. Yes, also the guys that use AI. Yeah, addiction is gonna be a recognized addiction in my lifetime. That's kind of silly to think about. Minnesota became the first state to pass a law of this kind earlier this year, applying its warning labels rules to all users, not just minors. That makes more sense, at least to everybody. I mean, I don't think minors should be on social media or using that kind of AI. Call me crazy if you must. In your governor, Kathy Hochul. Hokuto Yakuretsu King! It's kind of funny. is currently considering a bill similar to California's AB 56, signaling a broader trend toward aggressive regulation of social media platforms. Ah yes, aggressive regulation of social media platforms from the government. Just what I want to see. Also, apparently, I don't have an article for that. Apparently they are adding, or they added, or something like that. Face identification on Twitch. Fucking hilarious when you see the clip I showed last week of Dan Clancy mentioning, well, maybe we need to get more young people, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 kids that are on TikTok, even though Twitch is 13 plus. But I also saw a tweet, I think it was from Shondo. She has been streaming for a while. I don't know how old is she. She has to be at least close to mid-20s, right? Oh no, I'm peeking behind the curtain. I shouldn't do that. She tried that. She is considered a minor by the Face ID. So that could put her, I don't want to say wage, but her only means of getting money at this point in jeopardy. Because, oh, it's the fucking UK. It's so bad. It's so bad. Supporters view these proposals as overdue corrections to uncheck the industry. Privacy advocates argue they amount to a state overreach that could entrench mass monitoring in environments that were once assumed to be private. Yes, hello, welcome to Europe. So bad. With new decisions expected in the upcoming weeks, California's position to either double down on the surveillance-centered approach or push back on the state expansion of state authority into digital communication. Kinda funny. Speaking of Europe here, apparently their vote for the chat control 2.0 has been postponed, which is interesting. I still don't know what's gonna happen with that. Apparently Germany flipped from being neutral to being against to being neutral, I'm trying to say, which is not good. It is not good. And there was something else? I think I don't remember. It was in the forefront of my mind. Am I having something else and I forgot? I'm not sure anymore. Well, I guess I was going to mention these measures that came around in the past couple of months. For na. You had to be an adult. How do we know? Show me your face. Show me your ID. Yeah, it's always bad. That's never good. What do we have here? Is this the same? Oh no, this is completely different actually. New York would force TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram to roll out age verification. Under the Safe for Kids Act, social platforms could be required to verify the ages of users for serving addictive algorithms. Oh boy. Just ban the fucking TikTok already. I don't care anymore. No more China's love. Given what happened this past 2 weeks, yeah, I think there's more than enough reason to ban TikTok. I'm sorry, Jeffree Star. I think it's for the best. A New York law could require social media platforms to implement age verification. On Monday, New York Attorney General Letitia James released the proposed rules for the Stop Addictive Feeds Exploitation, or SAFE, for Kids Act, which would force platforms to confirm that someone is over 18 before allowing them to access an algorithm-driven feed or nighttime notifications. Nighttime notifications? Do you really get bombarded notifications-wise in TikTok? That's not good. This will be really easy. This is a really easy fix. Parent your fucking kids for once, you stupid bitch! That's always that easy. But no, that's not allowed. To the government, please. Raise my kids for me. And then you're surprised when they end up becoming a bunch of fucking insufferable commies. God. Dear Governor, Kathy Hochul sent the Safe for Kids Act into law last year as part of efforts to protect the mental health of children. The law joins a growing number of online child safety legislation across the US, many of which have faced legal hurdles and concerns over user privacy. But legal landscapes surrounding online age verification could change, with recent Supreme Court rulings allowing age gating on porn sites and at least temporarily opening the door for social media platforms. Oh boy. Not in my wildest dreams I expected this 15 years ago. Can't expected it like 13 years ago, when they killed Megaupload. California is on the cusp of passing a bill that will require device makers and app stores to carry out age verification, while South Dakota and Wyoming have begun forcing platforms to implement age verification if they host sexual content. It's always the same. It's always the same. Why do you give unchecked access to the internet to your kids? Oh, they have phones. Why are you giving your kid a phone with access to the internet? You abject fool! It makes no fucking sense to me, and it keeps happening. You know what I had as a kid? Well, I didn't have a phone. And after that, calls and messages. To be fair, I don't think those phones could access the internet anyway. Fuck me, I'm old. But at the same time, it's really easy to limit those options if you need your kid to have a phone for whatever reason. Let's say safety. Sure, I think that's fair, but you don't need to have access to the internet. I was already an adult when I got a smartphone with access to the internet. Huh. Imagine that. Also helps that I'm old. Fuck, I'm old. I saw some pictures earlier with my niece. I look kinda old. God damn it. And at the proposed rule for New York's Safe for Kids Act, social platforms must serve unverified users or kids under 18 only chronological feeds or posts from people they follow, as well as ban notification from 12 AM to 6 AM. The office is requesting comments about how exactly to define a nighttime notification. Okay, what the fuck do you do if you're in a different time zone? You can probably just cheat that. Should be really easy. Companies can confirm a user's age with a number of different methods, as long as the methods are shown to be effective and protect users' data. Protect data, lamau. That's never gonna happen. Platforms must also include at least one alternative to uploading a government ID, such as a face scan that estimates a user is 18 years old, and that never fucking works. As I mentioned before today already. Kids can only gain access to platforms' addictive algorithmic feeds by getting permission from a parent, which involves a similar verification process. The proposed rules state that platforms must delete identifying information about the user or parent immediately after they're verified. Shut the fuck up, this never happens, dude. Do you remember the huge debacle with the T app? And they released the same thing for guys. They had literally the same mistakes? Hilarious. Bunch of incompetent people. They're also evil, but they're mostly incompetent in this case. God damn it. It's not in the rules. The Safe for Kids Act will apply to companies that surface user-generated content and have users who spend at least 20% of their time on the platform's addictive feeds. Sure, 20%, why not? And 2023 version of the bill defines an addictive feed as one that generates content based on information associated with users or their devices. Literally all? Since, what, like 2015? Maybe even before that. That means it could potentially affect major platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Companies that violate the law could face a fine of up to 5,000 USD per violation, in addition to other potential remedies. Children and teenagers are struggling with high rates of anxiety and depression because of addictive features on social media platforms. Not quite sure about that. I think it's more about the kind of shit that has been normalized, which is tangentially related, I suppose. Attorney General James said in the press release, "The proposed rules released by my office today will help us tackle the youth mental health crisis and make social media safer for kids and families. It's so easy. Touch grass, literally. You're a kid, what are you doing inside? You're not a sage like me, get the fuck out. The Safe for Kids Act may not go into effect for a while. The proposed rules kick off a 60-day public comment period, after which the Office of the Attorney General will have 1 year to finalize the rules. The law will go into effect 180 days after the rules are finalized, though it's bound to face scrutiny. NetChoice, the big tech trade association that has sued blockage verification bills around the US, called the SAFE Act an assault on free speech last year. Not wrong. The Electronic Frontier Foundation also said that the law will block adults from content they have a First Amendment right to access, but not about showing your government ID. You just show it when you go to the liquor store, buy some booze. Yeah, that's completely different. On one hand, you're showing your ID to a guy that's working there, and he's not gonna remember everything or even anything. And on the other hand, you're uploading your ID or your face to the internet, which is gonna be stored forever and probably sold to who knows what or who. Yeah, it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same. If I go to the store to buy, I don't know, some whiskey, that's between me and the merchant. If I need to verify this, if I need to verify my use of, let's say, Twitter, why is the government involved in it? It should be. That's the problem. What else do we have? God, I need to get to this too. I need to get to this too. I've been tracking these 2 articles for 2 weeks almost. So let's talk about Nintendo a little bit. Talking about stupid law stuff, I guess. Palworld isn't the only target. Nintendo's latest patent could touch hundreds of games. It's the bad touch. It's not good. Nintendo has been awarded a patent for summon and fight mechanics in the US. And here's why that's a problem. From what I'm seeing, not only this patent shouldn't exist, it's so broad it's gonna find pretty much anything that has some sort of party mechanics or summoning mechanics. That's never good. Nintendo isn't slowing down its legal crusade against Palworld. While the patent infringement case against Pocket Pair continues in Japan, the real story may be unfolding in the US. As we've covered before, Nintendo isn't just fighting one lawsuit. It's been quietly stockpiling patents and preparing for a potential American case too. And the latest one is a big deal. The newest patent is particularly egregious and could have massive implications for the entire games industry. That's not hyperbolic. Last week, Nintendo quietly secured a US patent that, on paper, gives it ownership over one of the most common mechanics in gaming: summoning a character and having it fight another. Yes, it is that broad. Whoa! Yay! Pretty well. Yes, patents number... which was issued today, covers the smooth switching of writing objects, but Pocket Pair already worked around this feature in Palworld. So right now, that acquisition is not much of a threat. However, as Games Trade reports in the thorough coverage of the case, patent case, which was granted over a week ago, September 2nd, which is kind of funny because more than a year and a half after Palworld release, so it shouldn't be retroactive anyway, is a much more significant concern, not just for Palworld. The patent 397 covers the fundamental mechanics of summoning a character to have it fight another. So yeah, sounds like Pokemon. However, it also describes things that many other games do. Unlike many patents, which often face heavy scrutiny or rejections before they are approved, this one glided through the US Patent Office without objections. It was filed in March 2023 and granted just last week. Summoning minions in Diablo? Nah, not allowed. Patent 397 is potentially explosive for the gaming industry, because it isn't just about Palworld. If a game does all of the following, it could be challenged. We have a list. There must be a PC, console, or other computing device, and the game is stored on a drive or similar storage medium. Yes. You can move your main character in a virtual space. Okay, that's literally not every game, but 90% of games. you can summon a secondary character, called the sub-character in the patent. If there's an enemy present, the summoned character fights it, either automatically or based on your input. If there isn't, the summoned character can still move and fight when it encounters an enemy later. This is not the Pokemon system. This is Happy Party Mechanics. This affects pretty much every RPG. Only a tiny amount of RPGs do you only have a single character, after all. This affects anything that uses summons. This affects anything that uses helpers in any way, shape, or form. That includes Monster Hunter of all things, which is kind of funny. How is this possible? It's sheer insanity. You know what I see here, for example? Tales of Games. You know what I see here? To some extent? Fucking Minecraft. Depends on the definition of someone's character. This could affect the dogs. This could also affect... This actually kind of affects already, when you think about it. Depends on the definition of character. This could affect Terraria, because you have the summoner class. It's insane to me that something like this passed, but it did. Congratulations, Nintendo won gaming in the worst way possible. If a game does those things, Nintendo now has a patent that could be used to argue infringement. I'm sure you can think of hundreds of games that do this. This isn't just a Pokemon thing. The Spanish language is so broad that it could arguably apply to mechanics across RPGs, action games, MMOs, and the list goes on. What about the new Digimon game? Yeah, several patents might be going a little bit crazy with that. Oh, you can mount the Digimon now, that's not good. What about the MMO, huh? I did that like almost 10 years ago. Almost 10 years ago? That feels like too much. No, yeah, it's actually right. Holy shit, I'm old. Take Diablo 4, where the Necromancer class is built around summoning skeletons, golems, and other minions that fight automatically or under your direction. In World of Warcraft, warlocks summon demons, hunters summon pets. In Elden Ring, if you're not one of those solo purists, you may summon your Mimic Tier to help in battle, or in my case, just finish the battle for me. The list is endless. In other words, if you played games at all in the last 20 years, you have seen this mechanic everywhere. And now, at least in the US, Nintendo has a patent claim that could theoretically be pointed at any of them. Isn't this like patent trolling to the highest degree? And I've seen, I think it was some sort of law people, was it patent lawyer maybe? I don't have it on tap. That was mentioning that these patents shouldn't exist for obvious reasons. I don't know if they can revoke it. They should. The obvious question is, will Nintendo actually sue the developers in the US using this patent, including Palworld? Well, we really don't know. In Japan, where there's an ongoing case, Pocket Pair is already making a strong defense against many of the patents with examples of prior art. Because despite what they tell you, Pokemon was not the first to do any of this anyway. Especially the first games, they were obviously based on both Dragon Quest Monsters and Megami Tensei, come on. There's also clear evidence of Palworld demonstrating its mount switching mechanic of the patents in question 6 months prior to Nintendo filing for the patent. Thank you, trailer, pretty cool. Should never be retroactive. But even if Nintendo never goes that far, the threat alone is damaging. Just the existence of this patent could discourage smaller studios from experimenting with summoning style mechanics, out of fear of being dragged into court. Big companies like Nintendo can afford endless runs of litigation. Indies can't. I guess they got really mad, huh? That's telling. Just make good games, Lemao, it's that easy. If Nintendo keeps going down the patent all the things road, it could trigger a full-on arms race. Imagine every publisher rushing to slap patents on basic gameplay loops. This should never happen. Thank you, Monolith. Rest in peace. and to protect creativity, but to keep it as a potential legal abomination. That doesn't help push the industry forward, instead to choke into oblivion. Are we sliding into a future where lawyers shape the games we get to play more than the devs do? Maybe. I don't want that to happen, for sure. Should something as simple as summon a character and let it fight even be patentable? No, it's too general. This is just Nintendo flexing its legal muscles. Give your thoughts in the comments. And feels stupid for gamers to ignore. It's also kinda funny, right? Summon a character and let it fight. This has been a thing. Sure, okay, they mention this has to be virtual space, PC or console, right? But this concept of summoning and having the summon fight things has been around for centuries. In books and whatnot. Hell, if anything, summon something and let it fight. Oh, just like D&D. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, are you saving the game? Nah, I had the button for that. Not allowed. Go back to passwords, fool. But not funny passwords like Mega Man. We also have those. God damn it, man. God damn it. You wouldn't be in this big trouble, Nintendo, if you made good games. If Indies in Japan can do it, so can you. Stop lying to me. I still think they make, in general, good games, but at the same time, holy shit, they make it so difficult for me to love them nowadays. I wish this was better, but well, I haven't spent money in Nintendo games for a long time. That's my solace. And let's finish for today with something that I have actually been tracking for 2 weeks, which is kind of interesting. The marriage effect. Did you know that women are actually happy when they have kids? Whoa! There is no way, dude! Yeah, you pretty much need that for humanity to keep existing. That's what we call an evolutionary advantage. It only makes sense. We don't need any kind of study, but here we are. A common narrative has it that commitment and motherhood make women happy. India suggests the opposite is true. New data, by the way. Sure, why not? Why not? When was deciding whether to have children in the early 2000s? Most of what I read about the prospect was negative. Whoa, 20 years ago already. That's kinda bad. Articles detail the sleep deprivation, the physical challenges of pregnancy, the sheer overwhelmingness of motherhood. If you want to be happy, these writers warned, don't have children. You may not want to get married either. After all, marriage, research suggested, mostly benefits men. Lamau. That's why you have all of those divorce laws, right? Also, this is kind of funny. This also relates to a different tweet that I've seen recently. Sleep deprivation. There was this tweet that mentioned, wow, dude, it's insane how you can just keep pulling all-nighters when you're in your 20s. And somebody replied, yes, that's when you're supposed to have kids. You're not really meant to have kids when you're 40. Trust me. I've seen it. You're not meant to. Nowadays, the average age when you become a parent is what, like mid-30s? That's way too late, dude. That's way too late. From a biological standpoint, obviously. Friends and family have a few positive things to say, especially about parenting. When as parents, I knew about the disadvantage of having children. They got an earful about tantrums, childcare difficulties, and the lack of time to yourself. You don't sleep for 18 years. It's not that bad, come on. One cousin confided. When asked about the advantages, there was usually a long, awkward pause. It makes you less selfish, one aunt offered. Not a convincing argument for a fiercely independent, career-minded woman such as myself. Ah, the classic. Strong, independent woman doesn't need no man. Hilarious. These same sentiments are prevalent in today's online conversations and news reports. I would say that's not quite that case. I understand that the world nowadays, modern society, is really messy. It's really messed up. So I understand where people are considering, should I wait for things to be better to have kids. But there's still a lot of people against that because, oh no, kids. What about contamination? What about it? Have you seen India? Have you seen China? Come on. Women are happy without children or a spouse. This happiness expert. And then they are 50, they just have a bunch of cats, and they go absolutely insane. We've seen that happening. My headline reads, another reveals, why so many single women without children are happy? They're actually not happy. They have convinced themselves they're happier working. Do you know that having to work is a massive pain in the ass? Women, they convince you of working outside of the home. Why would you do that? I mean, sure, getting money at school and all that, but you're gonna be happier? And the economy got screwed. Are we sure that was good? I'm gonna get hit for that. But what else is new? People post in discussion forums asking, why do you think the single unmarried women without children are happier than married women with children? This is a blatant lie, by the way. That's not what's happening. If you see the actual data, I don't know if they're gonna mention it in this article. That's actually untrue. On both sides of the political spectrum, by the way. But are married mothers actually less happy than single women without children? That's one of the questions that, along with my colleagues, Jeanette Erickson, Wendy Wang, what a name, and Brad Wilcox, I set out to answer by conducting a nationally representative survey of 3,000 American women ages 25 to 55, filed by YouGov in March 2025. I don't know why I thought this was British. That's crazy. What we found contradicts the negative messages that I had come across. Married mothers are actually happier than unmarried women, and married women without children. In the survey, 19% of married mothers describe themselves as very happy, compared with 11% of married women without children, 13% of unmarried mothers, okay, they're gonna have different troubles, obviously, and 10% of unmarried women without children. Married mothers were also more likely to say that life is enjoyable most or all of the time than the other three groups. These numbers are controlled for age, family income, and education, so we know that those factors aren't the cause of the differences. These findings are not a one-off. Well-respected sources, such as the General Social Survey, not societal, show me the same results. Married mothers and fathers in the survey were more likely to report being very happy. That unmarried people and those without children, the unmarried people and those without children. That was a period. Another recent study found that married or partnered mothers, I don't like that kind of discourse. This is not YouTube, this is not Twitch. Are less likely to frequently feel depressed or anxious than people in the other three groups. Oh, jeez, I wonder why. Yes, you're meant to have kids. That's a biological imperative. Could it be not that the marriage produces happiness, but the causation goes the other way? The happier people are more likely to marry? I think it's just about values, though. If you want to have kids, you probably want to marry first. That's comes from Christian values, I suppose. I think that makes sense. I've seen some people do that I've never had expected. One study controlled for premarital happiness levels and still found that marriage results in happier people, in a less intense dip in life satisfaction at middle age. That's not to say the roles of wife and mother don't have their challenges. I mean, obviously not. Roughly 2/3 of mothers in our survey, for example, said that they felt overwhelmed each day. They so did more than half of non-mothers. Yeah, I mean, what kind of what are you overwhelmed by, right? Is it the kids? Is it the job? Is it both? It makes sense. You only have a limited amount of money, also time, but yeah, I want to save time. And 6 in them mothers said that they wish they had more time to themselves, compared with about 4 out of 10 childless women. Why then are mothers happier? The reason speaks to the profound experience of parenthood. Married mothers were the most likely to agree that their life has a clear sense of purpose. 28%. Quite literally. 28 seems kinda low even. Followed closely by unmarried mothers. 25%. Only approximately 15% of women without children agreed. Mothers were also more likely than non-mothers to agree that their life feels meaningful. All or most of the time. You literally have many because you have kids. That's the meaning. At least you have that meaning, if nothing else. I now have 3 children, and I'm somewhat incredulous that my pre-motherhood requires. No one mentioned the sense of purpose parenthood gives you. Yes, you're going to be tired and overwhelmed, but there's a deep knowledge that you're doing something important with your life. You're nurturing a human being. These feelings of purpose and meaning are sometimes difficult to put into words. Perhaps why they aren't regularly discussed. They are usually dismissed to fun enough. But having a career is more meaningful than having kids. That career is not gonna take care of you when you're old and sick. I'm fortunate to have a career I love and find meaningful. Even so, the sense of purpose I have found through motherhood dwarfs every career milestone I have ever achieved. Unsurprisingly, to be fair. The survey results also show that marriage comes with several advantages. Married women are about half as likely to report being lonely as unmarried women. I mean, yeah, the water's wet, obviously. One factor may be that married women are more likely to report to regularly receive physical affection and touch. Yes, because they have a husband. They may have a wife, but the wife might be violent too. I'm just in the statistics, it's not looking good. Touch is, in turn, extremely linked to happiness. 22% of women in the survey who experienced a high level of physical touch were very happy, compared with only 7% of those who received a low level of touch. Touch, especially from a spouse, is associated with reduced stress, increased trust, and greater sense of safety. Holy moly, dude. You're about to rediscover the wheel, hold up. Obviously! Humans are tribal creatures. You need a tribe. What is the tribe, if not the family, at its core, right? Yes, we're social animals. It feels really obvious, but I guess some people still ignore this. I have no idea. The false narrative that marriage and motherhood are a recipe for women's happiness is doing a lot of damage. In a nationally representative survey that I analyzed for my book, Generations, the number of 18-year-old women who expected to have children plummeted by 11% points from the late 2000s to the early 2020s. Negative messaging about marriage and motherhood is likely at the root of these Gen Z shifts, along with the pervasive pessimism about everything egged on by social media that borders on doomerism. Not only that, I'm just seeing OnlyFans and just go into OnlyFans and be a millionaire. Who cares about you whoring yourself to the masses? Who cares about that? In 20 years, when you have a lot of resources, trust me, you will remember. People don't forget, especially you. It's not good. Good luck finding a husband that way too, by the way. Or a wife, I suppose. Young people are also profoundly lonely and spend less time with their peers in person. The consequences for their adult relationships are known. Recent trends are even more concerning. AI girlfriends, not this again. Not this again. And boyfriends now offer the prospect of relationships with an always available entity that has no needs of its own. Meanwhile, the fertility rate in the US is at an all-time low. Can you believe that I got criticism for talking against AI boyfriends in this case? It's not healthy. It's not normal. You're only doing a disservice to yourself. Damn you, clankers! Damn you! There are many reasons people choose to not have children or not to get married, but phone messages about happiness should not be one of them. The articles I read long ago were right that parenting and marriage can often be exhausting, but they ignore the sense of meaning that comes from parenthood and the connection of physical touch at the core of family life. After all, an AI boyfriend can't hug you back. To say nothing of an AI child, I guess that's doable, I suppose. I guess that's doable. But I find it really funny. I find it really funny. I think I mentioned this before a little bit at some point. But I do have an older sister. She got married years ago. And she had a kid. She was the kind of person that said, since she was very young, she would never marry and she will never have kids. I know it took a lot of convincing to have a single kid, but she is clearly way happier right now. Which is kind of funny. If that happened to somebody like my sister, it can happen to literally anybody. Make no mistake about that. So, as Shinzo Abe said, marry and have kids. Do it now. Oh boy, oh boy. We're going a little bit overboard, but that's probably fine. I went through pretty much everything I had for today, so it's pretty good. Fantastic victory for today. Oh boy. So, it's time for me to take my leave. Thank you for coming. Schedule app tomorrow, as usual. We're gonna be probably finishing Final Fantasy VI and Pokemon Colosseum, so that's kind of fun. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna be starting the Legacy of Goku 2. Of course, Saturdays. More news, more stuff, more talking, and all that. So, thank you for coming. I hope you had some fun. I will see you all on Monday. Until then, you know the rules. Never let these deranged lunatics win, and take care.